hit the ground and go like a 5K run. Pay my time and come. On God, I got nothing to lose. I'm living in pre-com. Look at the grind and done. I split bread on my bro and they even share the fuck. And I slide in crumbs. I don't do it for me. I just find shine and fun. My VV's glowing in the dark. I'm flat on my neck and I go on a arc. 0 to 100. I need he cried when I put the range in park. I hate that my bros will trap when listen I made my mark. Survivors guilt trying to take my soul. I stay jugging and play my part. He's a root all evil. I get my money all evil like I look 10. Now I'm on the run like Bonnie and Vin Diesel. If man you know by now run on my aunt.
Alright, so it's been about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 5 even, since that last video, but more importantly, my trip to the Philippines. It's nearing the end of June now, and I have not been recording at all. I have completely forgot to record and post. I focused way too many things that weren't really important and not helpful to what I was really aiming for regarding my goals. And I just overall got too stuck in seeing other content creators thinking that I need to be perfect, be super fancy, when in reality, I just gotta record, put it out there, and find what I really enjoy, how to share my story and the way that I'm doing it, right? And just taking it from there. So that being said, now that I'm here, wanted to share a few lessons that I found really helpful to me, and I thought it would just be really helpful to put out there, because though from a financial perspective, it's been slightly better, the biggest key thing for me was how mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just being overall more grounded. That's been such a huge improvement over the last month or since that last video. And few key points, I basically summed it up into 3 different lessons, maybe 2.5. But starting off with the first one, the biggest thing that's helped me was facts versus feelings. And what I mean by that is oftentimes I found that I was getting so stressed, I was so filled with anxiety, I was so worried about so many different things that were out of my control. At the end of the day, I just had to just come to the realization that like, hey, are these fears, these things that aren't in my control, are they actually true? Are they actually facts? And oftentimes they weren't. And when I was able to keep telling myself that, it was a lot easier to just stay really level-headed, stay focused, stay objective. And the more I kept doing that, the more things didn't bother me as much, the more things didn't stress me out as much, because I always focused on what is the truth, what is the reality say, what does the data say, right? Especially since sales is a data-driven game. And that leads me into my second lesson, which is gratitude. Now, you're probably thinking like, dude, everybody talks about gratitude. What's the point of that? But the reason why I emphasize that is because focusing on lesson number 1, because I'm able to focus on the facts, the truth, that allowed me to be more present. That allowed me to see the things that I already had in front of me. Having to live in Vietnam as an American Filipino, having to work from anywhere all over the world, having to just work on my own terms, travel, having to have a lot more freedom here in Vietnam compared to the US, right? Like the list goes on and on. Having to see that there's literally people who are grinding 100 times harder and they don't make as much. Comparisons to stuff like that, it's like, wow, it allowed me to really see things for what they are rather than what I think other people might think that they are, or maybe a negative way of thinking of it. So because of that, it wasn't an easy thing at first, but the more I kept speaking about it out loud, what I really am thankful for and grateful for, the more I kept writing it down, I eventually started to feel it. And I think that's the part of gratitude people miss, is like they don't get to a point where they've practiced it enough to be able to feel the level of gratitude and emotions to a degree, which I think is so important, because it's one thing to say something or get someone to say something, but it's another thing to actually feel it, which was great because I'm enjoying life now, man. Now, lastly, lesson number 3 is increase sacrifice or reduce desire. Now, part of the reason why, as I was saying before, that I forgot why I was doing the documenting stuff was because I wasn't willing to sacrifice the amount of time, energy that it took to edit, to record, to really think about how I wanted to present myself. That part of sacrifice when it comes to content creation, I had so many days throughout the month where I didn't want to do that. And that's because my desire, I forgot it. And so I had to sit down and think to myself, this desire of wanting to show myself be a relatable person, maybe more importantly, just showing what the true journey looks like from my end, was that genuinely important for me? And no matter what, no matter how many times I tried to talk myself out of it, it always came down to yes. There were so many good reasons to do content, just for myself, more importantly. I look back in one of my videos as well, like it's for the sake of being able to have something to look at, and more importantly for my family to look at. And that's when I had to remember, like, hey man, you're willing to do this. This is genuinely important for you. You have to know the amount of sacrifice you do have to put in. And that's why I'm finally making this video now. Another thing as well, tying into that, I had another role on top of the main one that I was doing, and I just dreaded it. It was like 2 or 3 weeks in, I dreaded it. I was putting in way more hours. But again, it was primarily because I didn't know why I was doing it. It came down to the money. It came down to what that sort of money meant for me, what it would allow me to do, the next steps that I could finally start doing. And the moment I dropped it, I realized that specifically. And funny enough, another opportunity came to me where I'm really considering accepting it and doing it, because despite it being even more time and more energy and more hours on top of what I'm already doing, the amount of sacrifice I know was going to be worth it and was going to help me get to that desire. So overall, I'm a happy man, quite excited to see where this all takes me. And I'm quite excited to get back onto this, really show a lot of different perspectives to the life that I'm living and what I'm really going to do.